Could Saudi money influence NBA players? The heat of Saudi cash is being felt around the sporting world. The Saudi kingdom is actively extending its power through various sporting projects. They transformed the Saudi Pro League into one big soccer destination, attracting the biggest stars in European soccer. With the influence of Saudi money continuously growing in world sports, it only begs the question, how long till they begin coming for NBA players? Well, kick your feet up and get comfortable as we reveal what it would take to get some of your biggest NBA superstars to move to the Middle East. Let's get right into it, shall we? Since Sheikh Mansour decided to take one giant leap back in 2008 by acquiring Premier League heavyweights Manchester City, other Middle Eastern owners have also hopped on this opportunity, pouring billions literally into European soccer. So far, two of the biggest deals have been the purchase of Paris Saint-Germain by Qatar Sports Investments in 2011, which is unsurprisingly affiliated with Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund. Well, when the great Cristiano Ronaldo made his shocking and highly expensive move to Al Nassr in January 2023, that should have indicated what was to come. And the Saudi club made sure to spare no expense in completing the move. According to the estimates, the Portuguese's contract with Al Nassr, made public in December 2022, was for an estimated $200 million a year for 2 seasons. You know what? Let's break this figure down a little bit. The former Real Madrid player is earning more than $22,000 every hour. Yep, that's one hell of a payday. At the time of this shock move, the 5-time Ballon d'Or winner was the highest paid soccer player by a mile. But fast forward just 6 months later, and the Saudis have already got another player earning just as much. Current Ballon d'Or holder and former Real Madrid player Karim Benzema got Saudi summer business underway in grand style, finalizing a free transfer from European heavyweights Real Madrid to 2-time Asian champions Al Ittihad. The 35-year-old France international signed a 2-year contract worth a staggering $436 million. Deals like these meant one thing: the Saudis are not only prepared to go all out in acquiring European clubs, but also ready to pour billions into acquiring their players as well. And in the weeks that followed, they did just that. World Cup winner and Chelsea midfielder N'Golo Kanté ended his 8-year stay in England after joining his international teammate Benzema Al Ittihad on a free transfer. He's set to earn over $109 million per year throughout his 4-year deal with the club. Kanté's teammates Kalidou Koulibaly and Edouard Mendy soon followed suit, also making deals with Al Hilal and Al Ahly respectively. Saudi Arabia's raid on Chelsea saw Al Hilal sign Koulibaly for over $21 million and will pick up a very handy $38 million a year for his services. Most recently, current Champions League champions Manchester City agreed with Al Ahly to transfer left winger Riyad Mahrez on a 3-year contract. Mahrez will also be joined by 26-year-old winger Alan Saint-Maximin, who moved from Newcastle, a club run by Saudi's public investment fund, to Al Ahly, another club with the same owners. The Saudi league even recruited a coach from Europe, former Aston Villa manager Steven Gerrard, who was fired after less than a year in charge, moved to Al Ettifaq. He'll be working there with former teammate Jordan Henderson, who also moved to Saudi Arabia this summer. We could all assume that Cristiano Ronaldo's arrival to the Saudi Pro League was the primary catalyst for this jaw-dropping summer they've been having. Or we can all tell the truth and admit that the coaching the Saudis are handing out is just too good to pass on. Well, while the Saudi summer has been quite successful, they have had some disappointments. You know, some players were just not moved by the money. For starters, Lionel Messi turned down a record offer of $436 million per year from Al Hilal. Yet, you heard just right. He turned down that much money and decided to move to MLS side Inter Miami instead. Well, that's not even the only Al Hilal has taken of late. Most recently, the Saudi side made a breathtaking offer to PSG's forward and star man Kylian Mbappé. The 2018 World Cup winner, currently in a standoff with his team, was offered $332 million to sign for the Saudi club for just a year. What a deal! A deal that got everyone talking, including NBA superstar GNS Antetokounmpo. So, right after getting a whiff of Mbappe's new deal, which he turned down by the way. Antetokounmpo took to Twitter to joke about it all, saying, "Al Hilal, you can take me. I look like Kylian Mbappe." To laughing emojis, he wasn't the only one attracted to Mbappe's eye-watering offer. Golden State Warriors' Draymond Green wrote, "They got basketball leagues to write. I don't think the ink on my contract has dried up yet." Even the king, LeBron James, jumped at a chance to drool over the lucrative contract, posting a gif of Tom Hanks' Forrest Gump running, probably joking that he's on his way. Yeah, this is all fun and games, but here's the plot twist. What if it isn't yet? NBA superstars always talk their talk about how much they love their clubs and all. Back in 2017, GNS spoke to the New York Times about how much he loves Milwaukee, saying, "I can feel the love from the city every day I step on the floor. For me, what I'm going through now, I appreciate it even more." Even that same year, he tweeted, "I got loyalty inside my DNA," with a deer emoji, whatever that means. Well, believe it or not, everybody's got a price. The Greek Freak has had an NBA career on par with some of the all-time greats. In his 10-year career, he's won 2 MVPs, 1 Final MVP, and a Defensive Player of the Year award. In 2021, he accomplished the near impossible, bringing the Milwaukee Bucks their first championship in 50 years, and in turn, the Bucks signed GNS to a 5-year contract worth over $228 million. That's an average annual salary of over $45 million. Now that we've crunched the numbers, what do we know? We know that Mbappe's offer at Al Hilal completely dwarfs GNS' contract. With the Bucks, yet, it's GNS' $45 million average annual value against Mbappe's $332 million per year. Come on, it's a no-brainer. Then, secondly, the Saudis are capable of buying GNS off his present contract. They were willing to splash over $300 million on Mbappe. Surely they can double or even triple GNS' annual salary. Do you think he's still gonna love Milwaukee then? The king is currently on a 2-year, $97.1 million contract extension through the 2020-25 season with the LA Lakers, meaning he'll be set to make nearly $47 million next season. That's a lot of money, even for the king. But his 2-year deal isn't even as lucrative as a single year off Condi's 5-year deal. The French international makes about $109 million per annum. If the Saudis can offer Conti that much, then think of what they could offer NBA's all-time top scorer. LeBron James is arguably one of the greatest basketball players to ever step foot on the court. We're talking about for NBA championships, for MVPs, to finals MVPs, and to Olympic gold medals. We're talking about a man with the 4th highest career assists, and to just top it all off, he's NBA's highest career earner. Honestly, we could go on and on all day about who LeBron is to the Saudis. A legend of that status is gonna transform their sporting project, so he's gotta be worth at least north of $100 million per annum, probably pushing 200. A deal like that's gonna have him running like Forrest Gump all the way to the Middle East. Steph Curry had the honor of being the highest paid basketball player last season. He has had this honor since the 2017-18 season. Man, that's way back, and nothing is still gonna change next season, as he'll be making around $51.9 million in the 2023-24 season. We all know what Steph is capable of. This man is the greatest shooter of all time, a 4-time NBA champion, just like LeBron, a 2-time MVP, 1 Finals MVP, and a 9-time NBA All-Star. Star power like that's gotta come at a cost. But it's never going to be too expensive for the Saudis to pay. Same with GNS and LeBron. A contract worth over $100 million, maybe even close to 200, will have Steph packing it all up and moving to the Middle East. And if the Saudis can confidently get the highest paid superstar in the NBA, then who will be out of their reach? So yeah, the possibility of the Saudis investing heavily in the NBA, just like they did in European soccer, is quite likely. The NBA is a real global league, with tens of millions of fans in Europe, Africa, Asia, and South America, cutting across a range of races, religions, and nationalities. The NBA will offer Saudi Arabia the chance to widen the sporting ambitions behind much of it. We've already seen them do it with Formula One races, golf, soccer, and even WWE shows, with the backing of the country's sovereign wealth fund. Could investing in the NBA see aging superstars like Chris Paul and LeBron James try fattening their pockets with one final season in the Saudis' league? Well, we'll all just have to wait and see. Only time will tell whether the NBA will also be tempted by the allure of Saudi Arabia's unrestricted capital. So, what do you think? Do you see NBA superstars making the move to the Middle East?